Power shines the power.
Houston, Texas school address is 231 FM 1092, Stafford, Texas, zip code 77477. Class times and days should be on the screen. It's the same as usual. Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 9. Fridays from 6 to 8. Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2. And we also have a school in Virginia. I mean, you can see them all on the screen. You can see all the schools with all the addresses and the class names on the screen. So we got a school in Houston, Norfolk, Rochester, San Antonio. Houston and San Antonio, we do the same class schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 9. San Antonio, that's 7:30 to about 10:30. And then Saturday, we both from 10 a.m. to about 2 or 4 p.m. And then in Norfolk and Rochester, the East Coast schools, they both do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 8 to 10 Eastern time. Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. for both the schools as well. And here in Houston, we do the Hebrew Academy every Tuesday. But in Norfolk and in Rochester, they do it every Monday. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe to all the channels, of course. We got a lot of different things coming out, so like, share, and subscribe to all those. Help us to get the word out, of course. Brothers, of course, you got to the end of next month, which is September the 30th, to get the Passover money in for your garments. Got till the end of September the 30th to get your Passover money in for your garments, okay? Is that it? Oh yeah. You got Fringed Up. Like, share, and subscribe to Fringed Up if you like to get some nice shirts. And if you'd like to get some nice garments made, Israel Word does the garments as well. So if you'd like to get a nice custom garment made, you can get that made, of course. And if you'd like to hit up any of the brothers, got Quatzazop here to my left. His number is 303-557-8979. We ask that you text only during class. And then we got Kazaki in Virginia. His number is 757-300-4047. Of course, you text only during class. And if you'd like to help out, all donations is definitely welcome and needed. So if you'd like to help out, all the links are on the screen. All the links are on the screen if you'd like to help out in any way. So that's it for the announcements. Hopefully people are tuned in and ready to go. That's it for the announcements. So we'll open it up for class.
How's everybody feeling? One sec. Yeah, so I know y'all see the title. So we're basically going to do this part 2. Hold on one second. Getting passwords, man. Use that. Just changed it and I don't remember it. Let me try one more time. Hold on.
That Microsoft password?
Yeah, I had to.
Yes. So while he gets the password, I'll reiterate it one more time. If anybody would like to give and help the schools out, you got the Houston school, the Virginia school, the Rochester school, the San Antonio school. So if you'd like to help out in any way, definitely please give. All donations are welcome and needed. Oh, you know what I forgot to announce too. I did the announcements without the paper. Sorry. So I forgot to announce, if anybody would like to get any, fragrances, got Sweet Ambiance to get fragrances if need be. And if you go on the Sweet Ambiance website, you'll be helping the business out, of course. And then we have Chosen Creations, so definitely check out Chosen Creations. Get you some nice decorative things for the house or just for personal use, whatever the case may be. So
I am in.
Is it?
Right. So, yeah, I said it last week that I was going to do a part 1 and part 2 to this health class, like a little overview. Next week's class is going to hurt some feelings. I've been kind of putting it together. I shouldn't say it's going to hurt feelings, but what it's going to do is going to be a real eye-opener. Like all this little research I've been doing, a lot of this health stuff, it's going to be, if you already don't know, the next week's class, we're probably going to go over 10 negative effects of sugar on the body. Not that there's any good effects. So we're going to go over 10 effects of sugar, right? But it's wild. It's wild. It makes you wonder, why do they put so, like when we go over some of this stuff, you're going to probably really ask yourself, why do they saturate the food? All foods, even fruit. They put sugar in fruit. Right? I was going through a list of 30 things you didn't know had sugar in it, and I'm like, what the heck? If you ask yourself, why are they putting this stuff in, knowing that this is what makes us sick? See what I'm saying? So I want to finish this class, obviously, and we got through to what? We did it's one class with 10 different lessons. It's a class broken up into 10 different lessons, right? Yeah. 10 different categories. We got to lesson 5, so we could part it at a good point. What were the 5 lessons? Who was here last Wednesday? Sis. Yeah, what were the 5 lessons in the class we went over from last?
Lesson 1 was discipline, self-control. Lesson 2, self-control and eating habits. Lesson 3, exercise and stewardship of the body. Lesson 4, rest. Lesson 5, overcoming temptation and addiction.
Right. So for y'all, if anybody didn't hear her, right? Lesson 1, discipline. Lesson 2, self-control and eating habits. Self-control and eating habits. This is important because I know we're going over like eating and food and health, but there's still spiritual parts to this, right? Everything's spiritual. Number 3 was, and with that self-control, we have moderation in there. We spoke a little about that. Lesson 3, exercise, stewardship of the body or care of the body, your physical body. Number 4 was rest, right? So yes, Israelites are supposed to sleep. I don't like all that cap. Like this is not your rest. We get that. You're not supposed to get comfortable in America, but you need sleep to be able to recover, to be able to conquer the next day. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to sleep, man. You got to get sufficient sleep. And then lesson 5 was the overcoming temptation and addiction, right? So, and we spoke a little bit about those things. So, next one, lesson 6. Lesson 6 is going to be discipline in your spiritual and mental health. So, you have the discipline in eating, but you got to have spiritual and mental discipline, which really, doesn't it connect to the same thing? Because once you conquer that mental, the physical, the body follows, right? That's just how it is, right? Once you tell yourself, you know what? I know it's 10 p.m., and I'm about to go to bed in an hour. I'm not going to eat that big meal that she made me and left it in the oven, right? Once you conquer that demon,
there's a demon.
Because that's a demon. That's one that man, it plagues my life.
Then you eat, and then you wake up the next day, and the next day is just ruined while you're eating.
Yeah. Because you wake up so groggy and so tired.
Right.
You feel like you fought a 12-round fight in your sleep. Yeah, because your body, we talked about the rest, where you're literally supposed to be, all your functions should be at rest. Only thing that should be moving, you should be in the dream world when you're resting. So, discipline spiritually, that should have been further at the top, if anything. If I would have ordered this a different way, that should have been more at the top. Right? But it was no particular order. That's the thing. There was no particular order. But let's deal with some scriptures. So, how do we attain mental and spiritual discipline? Go to James. Go to James 1:22.
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 22.
Right?
But be doers of the word,
Go ahead.
and not hearers only.
Right. So to be a master in a discipline, to become a master, you got to be able to do what you're trying to master. Right? We're trying to become masters in the word of the Most High. We're trying to become masters in this carnal world using spiritual weapons. So we're trying to master our spirit. We're trying to master this word to be able to obtain this discipline.
Okay.
Right? But why is he saying be doers of the word? Well, because a lot of us, oh yeah, I hear you out. Yeah, Con sis, I heard you. Oh man, that was a good thing that he said. Oh yeah, I'm gonna consider that. Right? But doesn't there have to be more than I hear you? Or oh yeah, I heard that before, like even with this class. I'm pretty sure a lot of the stuff that I'm saying ain't nothing new to a lot of us. Right? But I asked last week, how many of us have things that we want to try to get over a hump? And the majority of us raised our hands. But how come you haven't gotten over the hump? Because you haven't became a good doer of the word.
Yeah.
You hear it. You know it's there. You know what it says. Oh, yeah, I know it says that. Yeah, what does it say in this? Oh, I know it says. Oh, I know. But what does it matter if you're not performing it? Go ahead.
Deceiving your own self.
You said what?
Deceiving your own self.
Deceiving the person that's teaching you?
Your own self.
Yeah, you defraud and deceive your own self by just being a hearer and not a doer. Go ahead.
For if any be a hearer of the word,
Right.
and not a doer,
Go ahead.
he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Go ahead.
For he beholdeth himself,
Mm-hmm.
and goeth his way,
Uh-huh.
and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
So you know what that's saying in short form? It's saying that you don't really change. You look at yourself in the mirror, right? Because what's the mirror? Is it talking about an actual mirror? No. It's talking about the mirror of the word, right? When you put yourself up against what the scriptures say we should be, when you put your character up against 1 Timothy 3, that's a mirror. And you'll read it and you'll say, oh, snap, I shouldn't do that. Right? You look in the mirror and you're getting it, and then you're looking at yourself like, oh, I shouldn't be moving, or I should be moving. But then guess what? You read it, you heard it, but as soon as you, quote unquote, so to speak, close the mirror, right? Guess what? You go back to being how you were before you even looked in the book. So what is it saying? You don't even try to apply any change, right? So why is that important? Well, because if I'm trying to get my body physically disciplined, it all starts in the mind. They always say mind over matter. You hear that a lot. Mind over matter, right? Mind over matter. Mind over matter. Go to Romans. Did you finish that?
That was at the end of 24.
Go to Romans 8 and 5.
Romans chapter 8, verse 5.
Right?
For they that are after the flesh
Right?
do mind the things of the flesh.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, if your mind is always constantly on the flesh and not trying to be a doer of the things that are spiritual, then how can you be disciplined either way? The flesh is going to rule you, right? Your belly is going to rule you. And really, what does it go back to? Does it matter what plan you have in place? Does it matter does a diet plan or an exercise plan matter if it's not executed?
No, it doesn't.
It don't matter.
It doesn't at all.
It don't matter what you set up. It don't matter what kind of scale you get.
Mm-hmm.
You can run to the store and get all the foods healthy, right? You can grow them in your backyard garden. You can have access. You can have money, right? But if you're not disciplined enough to put these things into play, because the flesh is ruling you, right? What does the flesh tell you? No, you're too tired. No, that's not necessary. You know what? I'm gonna get on that, and I'm gonna get on that tomorrow. Let me trick off this one last night on this food, right? I'm gonna trick off, and I'm gonna start that first thing tomorrow. I'm gonna start that, and then guess what? Guess what happened? You wake up tomorrow, you forgot that you were supposed to start something. The scriptures tell you that. It says, "He goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man or woman you are." You forgot that there was something about you that needed to be changed. You forgot that you had goals set. You forgot that you had ailments, right? Because let's be real. Why am I going over this class? Is it because everybody needs to get like the revenge body, and we trying to look like supermodels? No, they telling you that there's going to be a triple pandemic, RSV, COVID, and the flu. Are y'all ready? Because a lot of us, the seats are empty because cats is getting sick. Yeah. Let's be real. People are getting sick. That's why it's empty. Right? Noah, he's at the house. He's a little bit sick. Can I stay home from school? Nope. You don't go to school. You ain't going to be able to sit up in my house sick. And he ain't that sick like that. He got a small little mucus, little cough. Knock that out with some stuff, but just think about it. They're starting to pump that all through the media. They're trying to do the fear mongering thing, right? But at the same time, they're not completely just gaslighting. People are getting sick, right? It's that time of the year. You already know, flu season, August, right? September, when it starts to get cooler, if you don't do the right things for your body, then what happens? You fall victim. If you're stuck in your flesh and appeasing and doing the things that make you feel good, guess what? You become a victim. You become sick, right? So this ain't no class to get us all into supermodel shape, but this is to get us at least get our immune systems back rolling so we can have a more productive day-to-days. Like, think about how unproductive you feel. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired right now. I got a booming headache, right? Yeah. I haven't been getting no sleep. Right? And I ain't gonna lie, I ate late last night. I didn't follow my own advice. Right? I ate late. It's the schedule. Right? We get home from class. I try to eat and stay up a little bit to let some of that food digest. It didn't work because I stayed up later than I needed to. It was still in my gut. Fall asleep, wake up like, yo, what happened? I woke up and looked around like, yo, what happened? I felt like I was literally more tired than when I went to bed. Yeah. And then what does it do? It drags my whole day been dragging. I ain't gonna lie. I probably sound like I'm dragging now. Right? So we got to break out of these cycles. That's the point. What's that?
No, I was asking whatever you had to say. But yeah, you know what I was going to say too. It's very preventative. One of the reasons that you didn't name was to be, preventative. of what if we don't make the changes of what can come.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not even a what at this point. It's just a matter of when it will come.
Yep.
If the preventive changes don't be made. Because I think about it now, like I'm 31 and I be feeling a certain type of way. So if I'm feeling like this at 31, and I feel like I was feeling like this probably like 23 when I started feeling like this. So if I've been feeling like this since 23, I'm 31 now, and 10 years from now, how am I going to feel? How's my body going to move?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
My back be hurting now. Yeah. And then 10 years from now, how's my back going to feel? So, yeah.
Yeah, especially if we're not changing anything. If we're doing the same thing, trying to get a different result. That's the main issue, right? So what's one of the ways that we get our mind disciplined? There's a few ways, but I always like this scripture. Go to Ecclesiasticus 39:1. And, you know, it's funny. I was watching a video the other day, and the dude was like, you know what's successful? He's like, there's two type of people. One type of person wakes up in the morning and they do this, and another person wakes up in the morning and they do this. So successful people, they wake up in the morning, they read books, they pray, they meditate, right? They set goals. So normal people wake up and eat breakfast. They wake up and pour sugar down their throats. They wake up and they eat cereal, right? They wake up and they just want to appease their flesh. But a person that's more successful, that has more successful days, think about it. So they're setting up prayers, right? They're meditating, right? They're thinking about their day-to-day and how to conquer. But how are they going about it? Are they just, I'm going to go conquer things? They said, like, they pray in the morning. Like, I hope y'all are waking up in the morning and the first thing is not reaching for your phone. Only to shut the alarm off. That should be it.
Bro, can I read this scripture? Just
Yeah,
what you're saying?
you got?
Somebody give me Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 16.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't wake up and all of a sudden you're on Facebook. Set the alarm off. Get yourself mustered up to get out the bed and set some prayers up, man. Do that. What you got?
Check this out, because this is crazy. Go ahead. Ecclesiastes 10 and 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 15.
16.
We get kicked off.
Go ahead.
Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child,
Go ahead.
and thy princes eat in the morning.
And when thy what?
Princes eat in the morning.
Think about that. It says, woe, when your king is a child and when your princes eat in the morning. So what is that showing you? Well, your ruler gets up and the first thing he does is eat. First thing he wants to do is eat. It's not about, he's a ruler, but he's not thinking about what needs to get done or what needs to happen.
And how it needs to happen and by whom. Right? By whom you give that credit.
It's like he just wakes up and eat.
Yeah.
So it's like, what does that mean? What does your belly represent? Well, it represents your lust. So it's like you just wake up and the first thing you do is go fulfill your lust. You see what I'm saying? And the cold part is that's how we've been trained. That's how we've been trained in this society, is like the first thing that we need to do is get up and eat.
Like you wake up to the smell of breakfast, fresh pancakes. The pancakes woke you up. Like, come on now. That's insane.
And I remember, so the first day of school for my daughter, my sisters came over because they wanted to see her off. They came over and they're like, yeah, we're going to come over at 6 o'clock in the morning and make breakfast. I'm like, huh?
Nah, don't do that. Not at my house.
At 6 in the morning? You try to make some egg and pancakes at 6 in the morning? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's early, huh? And they was like, yeah, breakfast. Like 6 in the morning?
Bro, even when we wake up in the morning, when everybody wakes up, we out the door by 6:45, right? A warrior Monashah, they're up. They wake up like 6:30. I don't let them eat food until about 9 o'clock. I'm like, you don't need to eat right now. Y'all good. Like, we gonna drive around, drop them off. We go outside, we water the plants, we sit outside for a little bit, catch some early sun rays, and by 9 o'clock, drink you some water, get your mind right, and by 9 o'clock, then you can eat something.
Kind.
Nobody waking up as soon as you wake up, you got the stink breath.
Mm-hmm.
You got the stink breath trying to eat breakfast. It just shows a level of unsatiability.
Yeah.
A level of like what's in you, where as soon as you wake up, you think it to fulfill a lust. You thinking to consume.
Kind.
Right? You're not thinking about, wait a minute, the Most High woke me up. We're going to get into that because this is part of it.
Kind.
This is part of it. But go ahead. Go ahead with you. I like that.
Read verse 17.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Blessed art thou.
So verse 16 was saying woe or destruction. It says when thy king is a child, right? So that shows you that your king, your ruler, your leader, he's moving in a very immature way. Not thinking about business, but thinking about pleasure, right?
Okay, where is that at?
That's Ecclesiastes 10 and 16.
Right.
And it talks about the princes, same thing princes eat in the morning, showing that they're fulfilling their lust in the morning. As soon as they get up, they're thinking about their lust instead of thinking about the businesses that need to be done. Check out verse 17. Read verse 17.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Blessed art thou.
But in the contrary, you'll be blessed. Go ahead.
O land,
Uh-huh.
when thy king is the son of noble.
And the word nobles means honest, honorable, virtuous, righteous. So you're blessed. And then it says faithful, loyal, true, trustworthy, disciplined, right? The word disciplined. So it says you're blessed when your kings are noble. Go ahead.
And thy prince eat in due season.
And your princes, again, your princes, your kings, they're eating in due season. They're eating when the time is right. Why? Go ahead.
For strength.
Uh-huh.
And not for drunkenness.
See that? And it says for strength and not for drunkenness.
So they eat for strength. Wow.
And not for drunkenness. So
Wow. Not
they
to be
eating.
Ooh, food drunk. Ooh, that's nasty.
Kind. So they eating.
That's nasty.
They eating when they need to eat. But other than that, they're handling the business that they need to handle. You see what I'm saying? Because they're the rulers. So if they think about it, the scripture says, as the judge is, so are the officers, right? As the king is, so are the officers. So if the mind ain't on, let's get things done. Let me take care of the kingdom. Let me take care of the people. But instead, it's on, let me take care of myself. Let me take care of my belly, my flesh, right? Then it says that the people suffer. Now, read verse 18.
This is one of my favorites. I quoted this in last class. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
By much lawfulness, the building
You
decayeth.
see that? And then you can see how it all ties in. You can see how it all ties in. So it shows how even getting up and the first thing your mind is on is food. It shows that even that is slothful. For that to be the first thing that your mind is on. When it's like you have a million things in the day to do. Like food is going to come, right? But think about it. A lot of us are guilty of this. I can say that I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, man, we're not going to eat. I'm not going to eat.
Yep.
You know, or what's going to be for dinner today? You know, but there's a million and one things that got to get done. But it's like you wake up and that's like the first thing that your flesh calls to. And I understand why my mind goes there sometimes. Since I've been going to school, that's the first thing that I ate breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, they do it. They do it now.
That was the first thing.
They do it now.
Even now, when you go to school, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Before you even go to class, you go to breakfast, right?
Yeah.
So it's how we've been conditioned to eat breakfast, and that's the first thing. So now you eat breakfast, and then
By 12 o'clock, you're already sluggish.
yeah, and then they feed you with more food, lunch.
Yeah, it makes you sluggish.
Yeah.
Sluggish mind, can't accomplish nothing throughout the day. I mean, that's why we in such a lazy generations, man, and they know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to us to we can reverse it, right? And it's really where you put your mind. It's how you look at it, it's how you look at things. It's how you look at what you're going through. It's how you look at what you got to deal with. It's how you set your mind on the things that are around you. Right? Yep. So, I mean, that was a good one. That was a real good one.
You can finish it. You can read the last precept. So it says, much lawfulness to build and decayeth, right? Go ahead. And
through idleness of the hand, the house droppeth through.
See that? And it's talking about a king. So if the king is slothful, if the king is idle, then the building will drop through. Why? Because it shows you back in verse 16, because the king or the prince, they waking up and the first thing they thinking about is their food, is their belly. See that? So we can jump back.
Yeah, go to Ecclesiasticus 39:1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 1.
And real quick, man, you know I had saw this video of Mike Tyson. They was talking about like his workout routine. Where he did 7 days a week. He woke up at like 5. No, he woke up at like 4 in the morning. By 5 o'clock, I think they said like by 5 o'clock he's running 3 miles. But it's like at a pace that we can't even run 1 mile at. So he runs 3 miles, comes back.
50s or when he was training?
He was training. He come back and he go to sleep and he wake up and he eats something. And he hits the gym. And then after that, they said he went back to sleep or he went and then ate another pasta and steak and then went and trained again.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he went and ran did 3 miles on the bike. Did this crazy little neck exercise I ain't never seen in my life.
Oh, he did a neck stands. Yeah, he did he rolls his neck. Yeah, because his neck is like this or was like that.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why he was able to accomplish what he was able to accomplish.
Yep.
So
because he ate to strengthen himself to the point and not to be drunken.
Yeah, that's
like
true. When
you see people train, they fashion their food after what they're training on. Right? They'll go get a personal trainer. They'll go get a dietitian to maximize, like sports teams do it. They'll get a dietitian and they'll look at their certain players. Oh, you need to lose weight. We're going to put you on this diet. Oh, you need to gain weight. We're going to put you on this diet. The Denver Nuggets were good for that. Denver Broncos were real good for that too. That's why they had one of the leanest offensive lines for so many years, because they fed them a certain food and didn't let them get too crazily big. But they used to be real quick for offensive linemen, right? Usually they're big, sluggish guys. They just rely on their size, but these dudes were big, but they were quicker than a lot of people, and it worked out for the schemes that they would run. They had to be quicker than the other offensive lines. So food is how they did it. Yeah. Food and exercise, right?
Okay.
Right. Go to Ecclesiastes. That's good. That's a good word. Drunken instead of overindulging, overeating. Yeah, you get food drunk. You sitting there drooling. We call it what?
Itis.
We call it the itis. We call it the itis because Dave Chappelle gave that to us, right? The itis. The niggeritis, right?
Bro,
You eat too much and you pass out, right? But that's not a good thing. You shouldn't eat and pass out. So again, why does your mind have to be in tune? Why do you have to have that spiritual and mental discipline, mental health, meditation? Because now you're challenging your mind. You got to meditate on things and you'll challenge your mind without having to always open up the Bible. But you can meditate on certain things and say, man, now I see why this is this way and why that is that way.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Read that for me.
Ecclesiastes 39, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
But he that giveth his mind to the law
right.
of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
You'll seek out the what?
Wisdom of all the ancient.
Right. So what is that? What are you doing? You're looking at all the ancient men of the scriptures. And you're saying, wait a minute. How can Moses be 100 pounds overweight and dealing with arthritis and all the itises of the body and lead people out of Egypt? How could they be dealing with these itises and be walking around for 40 years in the wilderness? Don't make sense, right? Right. How could Aaron and the priests perform their duties if they were constantly having ailments? Oh, I'm out sick today. Right? Well, first of all, the scriptures tell you all that sickness, all them pimples, right? All those blemishes on your skin, those skin tags and all those different things that we get, bro, it's all because it's something that we're putting in that's trying to escape. Right? It's something that's going in. All that itching and scratching that we be doing, something's trying to escape the body because you're putting too much of something in. Right? And the law tells us that when a man got a pimple, you wait a minute, you pull him to the side, take him to the priest, and they got to examine him because that's not normal. It's not a normal occurrence, but this is the thing. He said it, but there are so many things. There are so many things that are normalized. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think it's normal to wake up and just have very stinky bad breath?
Wow.
Isn't that supposed to be a normal occurrence in our bodies? Or to have like that white film of filth on the back of your tongue? Does anybody here scrape their tongue? You better get on that. If you ain't scraping your tongue, you build up all this stuff on the back of your tongue. And if you don't eat enough salad, if you don't eat enough roughage, what happens is there's nothing that's going to clear that off. So you got to clear it off because it's just bacteria that builds up. But think about it. The odors that your body gives off, that's not natural. Those are not natural things. They just tell you that it's natural. That bad breath, right, is natural. But you do what? How do you fix it?
Brush your teeth.
You go get you some Colgate, right? Yeah, but go look at what Colgate got in it.
Fluoride.
Oh, no, there's worse things than fluoride. There's something, I believe it's called SLS. Look that up when you get a chance. If I'm not mistaken, it's called SLS. These things actually deteriorate the mouth biology. They don't promote like a balance in your mouth. Yeah, there's bacteria in your mouth. It's supposed to be an ecosystem, just like your gut, just like in your head, in your hair, your armpit, your skin. It's called a microbiome. But Colgate don't do nothing. Remember, don't y'all remember how they used to push those Colgate commercials? Do y'all remember that? I know you. Come on, like we the same age. You remember they used to have like a gang of Colgate commercials? They don't do that no more, right?
I haven't seen a Colgate.
They don't have to. They don't have to. You're already programmed. You know the little blue strip. You know the little blue strip in Colgate. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, like what y'all thought? That was like actual mint that they put, like a blue mint plant. Nah, that's color blue. That's the blue dye, right? The blue color, like the you know how you got yellow 5. That's like blue number 1, right? Why are they putting that in toothpaste? Yeah, see y'all like, wait, what the hell's going on here? Yeah, they programmed you so hard with this product. Now you say, you know what? Colgate, number 1 trusted brand. My mama bought it. My daddy bought it. Grandma bought it. Give me 2 packs. They sell them in 2 packs now, right? When you get the Colgate, you don't even think. You don't even think, and then I'm gonna let you come in, but then they hit you with another thing. They program you another way, because then you find out that Colgate got fluoride. Right? And you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to get me the fluoride free. I'm going to get the natural. I'm going to go get Tom's.
Oh, man. Don't say it.
Tom's got the same ingredients as damn Colgate. Yeah. Just look it up. All you got to do is look at the ingredients. That's all you got to do is look up the ingredients and you'll know, okay, they've been programming me with a science. They've been science projecting me. They've been experimenting on me this whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, every ingredient. Right? Let me see if you can find something on the back of this agua. All right, check this out. Purified water.
Yeah.
Calcium chloride sodium. It's just water. So you mean to tell me I can't just get water? I got to get calcium calcium chloride sodium? Why can't I just reverse osmosis? Do you know what reverse osmosis does to water? I'm going to show y'all something. Do y'all know what it does to water? Does anybody know? But they're like, oh, this water is reverse osmosis, and it's the greatest. It's the best. They call reverse osmosis water dead water because it has no mineralization. So what's the point of drinking water with no minerals in it? That's why they have to add calcium chloride sodium. They got to add that back in there to give it some level of mineral content for it to do something in your body. Yeah. But see, you got to look into these things. So the programming, right? Get rid of all the water unless it's spring water, right? The programming is real, but they've been doing it on us since 3-4 generations. So now they ain't got to program you. Your generations programmed you, right? A lot of us still use the same products. Listen, I just watched something where they said that. Now this is wild. I gotta look into this. They said that toilet paper, because of where it's made and how it's made, it has forever chemicals. And when you wipe, that's one of the, the anal is one of the most absorbent areas because it has so many nerves. So when you wipe, you're literally wiping with the toilet paper that's filled with these they call it what PFEDs. Yeah. I mean, does anybody know how toilet paper is made? How they get it from a tree to that nice little fluffy roll? You don't think about it, right? You just like, man, I need some toilet paper. Do you think about where it's made?
No.
Right. You think about how it's packaged. What type? It all comes in plastic, right? Is that plastic BPA free? Like, do we consider these things?
No.
Well, you'll wipe your whole private parts with it. That's how much trust you got in the white man.
Oh man,
I'm guilty. I just took tissue and wiped my whole nose. I mean, come on, we all guilty because you got to use it, right? You got to wipe, right? You got to clean up, right? Right? You got to drink water, right? Well, yeah, but when you learn, don't you say, okay, let me find an alternative? Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be doing, trying to find the alternative, right? When we learned that Christmas was bad, did we say, well, screw it, I'm going to keep doing Christmas? No, the Most High gave us the alternative, right? When we learn how to do, let me see, the toilet paper we use is full of PFAS. That's what it is. PFAS. That's like a thing now. If you look it up, they're shutting down people's farms. They're shutting down whole industries because of PFAS. Forever chemicals. They never leave the body. Huh?
What you supposed to use?
That's the point. Yeah, that's the point.
A washcloth.
The point is this. I'm going to show you something. The point is this. There's a reason. There's a reason why you even got to use toilet paper. You use the bathroom wrong, and you eat wrong.
supposed to use the Japanese toilet.
No, listen.
The debate.
There's a whole reason why you got to use toilet paper anyway. You poop wrong. You take a dump at a 90-degree angle. You're supposed to be crouching, so it all don't come out, and then you don't have no fiber in your diet. Right? All that meat, there's no fiber. All that bread, there's no fiber. So you leave little particles behind. Do monkeys wipe? No, I'm being serious. Do they wipe? Right? Most animals in the animal kingdom, when they take a dump, it comes out. Right? Because they're eating the right thing. They're eating their right diet. Why do cows get sick? Because of what they feed them. They get sick on the inside because their body can't process soy and corn. So they get sick on the inside. A lot of us are already sick inside. Right? So now you gotta use these things that they invent. I'm not saying we didn't clean up after ourselves and do all that. But it's a proven fact that the angle in which you use the restroom automatically breaks that feces off and you leave parts in your stomach. And what you eat don't help you to, fiber helps to push things out. There's not enough fiber in our diets. The SAD diet, remember we talked about that? Standard American diet, SAD, right? 70% of that is processed food. The other 15 is starch. The other 15 is corn. Starch and potatoes. Starch, potatoes, 15 and 15. Where's the fiber? Where's the herbs? Right? Where's all that stuff at? Remember they gave you a food pyramid way back in the day?
Right.
And what was at the very top?
What was it?
Was it milk?
Bread.
What was at the very top? It was milk?
So?
That was no, because the top was supposed to be the less thing that you had. The bottom was supposed to be the most of what you had. Right? On the food pyramid? Somebody look it up. They had to to revamp that whole pyramid.
Wasn't it?
Because that was killing people. It might have been milk. I mean, you might be right. I don't remember.
That's when they started pushing like the dairy
Dairy
industry.
Right, because they were pushing the dairy industry, right? Because that industry was losing money, so they revamped it so they can get dairy products.
What they have up there now is red meat and butter, refined grains, white bread, rice, pasta.
Is that the old school one?
I don't remember this. I don't remember they having no red meat at the old school one.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I thought in the old school it was like dairy, like vitamin D type stuff.
And calcium.
Yeah, but now they got red meat.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to think about it. You just got to look at our natural makeup. And, there's certain things now you become accustomed to doing because of what they've made you accustomed to doing.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Remember, even when you go into the law, right? Did he say go build a bidet? Go build a toilet in the thing? No, if you were burying your poo in the ground, that means you were close to it, squatting. Right? So there was a way. I mean, you just could look it up. Look it up. The way we use the bathroom is totally wrong. It pinches off the colon. And you leave back. Now you got to have an extra cleanup on aisle 6. You wrapping toilet paper. He said, he said, whoop. It's like, what are you about to go do? Clean up a cow? What's going on here? Right? The old school one was fats, oils, etc., and sweets. Okay. Yeah, I think he pulled it up. I don't remember the old school when they switched it. But yeah, man, go ahead, read it. We got the description. Come on, we got an hour left.
And be occupied in prophecies.
Right, go ahead.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men.
Right.
And where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
Yeah, how many of us wake up and the first thing that's on your mind is the Bible? I know me. It's like I can't get away from the Bible. As much as I try, it don't matter what I'm doing. Right? It's always in my mental. I'm sleeping. I'm sure I'm thinking biblical things. I wake up and the first thing, okay, scriptures say to pray. Boom. Now what? Boom, boom. Thinking about the Most High. What do I got to do today? Thinking about my kids and what they got to do today. Or they set up their prayers. All these different things, man. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Right.
He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences.
Right.
And be conversant in dark parables.
Come on.
He shall serve among great men.
Right.
And appear before princes.
Mm-hmm.
He will travel through strange countries.
Right.
For he hath tried the good and the evil among men.
Come on.
He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him.
See that? This is what a man of counsel, of meditation does. These are the things that he'll be able to accomplish. Right? He's able to move and groove and go into these different places and discern things. You know why a lot of us can't discern different things? Because we're so mentally foggy. We're mentally foggy because our bodies are foggy. The food that we eat keep us in a daze, man. All that sugar, you be dazed. You move around like a zombie, and then when you finally crash, you got to give yourself what? Let me get a Red Bull. Let me get an energy drink. I got to stop with them energy drinks, man. Them energy drinks are banned. Red Bulls is banned in Canada. Too much caffeine. When I go through that list, the food's banned in other countries. American chicken banned banned around the world. Because they clean the chicken in damn bleach. What's that?
Yeah, when I went to Ethiopia, there was a bathroom that I went to. It was just like literally a hole in the ground. But actually, like, it didn't really smell that much. I don't know, whatever.
They're not eating all that filth. That's why they're not eating what we eat.
They don't eat pork either.
They don't eat pork. A lot of them they're more on like a Mediterranean type grain diet. Like the African diet is more grain. They eat meat. Them West Africans love their meat. Those East Africans, they're more like on grains.
They like it's something called tids. It's like I don't know if it's goat or I think it's goat.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the ribs.
Oh, like goat rib tips?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With white rice. And they have also
Was it curry?
they like their lentils too, like, and they do different types of lentils.
Lentils, yeah. But then when they go to the restroom, that stuff is all coming out. That's all fiber and protein.
Yep. Right?
This is how you know. Like, my kids don't eat meat, right? My little ones. So I remember, like especially when they were, like, when Mama Shaw was a little bit younger, and even a Warrior when she was a little bit younger. I remember changing their diapers. There wasn't really no smell like that. Not compared to a kid that ate meat. The smell was different. You know, that kid that eats meat, you don't want none of that poo to touch your finger at all when you changing them. You making sure, like, right? But when it touched me, I was like, oh, okay, that's just grains. Go wash that off real quick, you know. But I wasn't. It's like there's something different about it when, you know, there's meat and bacteria in that one, you know. But there's a smell also. There's not that crazy smell. Read on.
And will open his mouth in prayer.
Right.
And make supplication for their sin.
Right.
When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding.
Yeah, because that's the point of meditation, to be able to understand. Right? How did Solomon and David and these great men come to all these great wisdoms? Where they meditated on things. They thought about things. They thought about health. They thought about the food you put in your body. They did. Remember, we got chapters in Ecclesiasticus that goes in about health and moderation. Where do you think that came from? Go ahead.
He shall pour out wise sentences.
Come on.
And give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer.
Right? Read on. This is the point.
He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate.
Verse 8.
He shall show forth that which he hath learned.
And that's the point that I wanted to get through. After all these different things, what is he doing? A man that meditates. Well, he's showing forth what he's learned. How do you, when dealing with your health, show forth the things you've learned? Well, there's going to be results that come from it. Right? You'll be able to see the results in yourself. Others will be able to, oh, yeah, you're losing weight. Or you're gaining weight. Right? Oh, you got a glow to you. What's what you've been up to? Right? It's been eating good, fasting, drinking more water, less sugar. You'll literally get a glow when you cut that sugar out. I mean, you'll go through withdrawals at first. And you act like you'll feel like a crackhead, right? You'll feel like a damn dope fiend. Yeah. But then after 2-3 days, your body will start to get back to and you'll start to look different. But a lot of us, man, we look like sugar zombies. Right? Go ahead.
We shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord.
Right?
Many shall commend his understanding, and so long as the world endureth, it shall not be blotted out.
Right. Go ahead.
His memorial shall not depart away, and his name shall live from generation to generation.
Right. Lesson 7. Accountability and community. And why am I putting these two things together? Well, because woe to him that's left alone. Right? It's always good to have somebody to have your back. It's always good to be able to go on these different, like if it's a health journey, if it's a health venture, right? Get your rib involved, or get your husband involved. It makes it easier. Because if you're on a fast, husband, and your rib don't know you are, or she's not on with you, what's she gonna be in the house doing? Cooking breads, all types of banana breads and thick meals with all types of succulent gravies, right? And you on a fast. So you walk in the house, you're already starving all day. You take one breath and you break the fast. Right? You break your whole vow. You walk in the house. So it's better to get somebody involved with you. That way y'all can help each other. Right? Go to Hebrews 10:24. Oh, man.
What was this lesson about?
This one is called Accountability and Community. Because what is it about? It's about, where does the accountability come in? Well, the accountability is about each other, helping each other to stay consistent, right? Each other helping each other to stay accountable, to stay on track. I'm a gun. He wanted to do a fast. We all hopped on it with him, right?
Yeah.
Some of us were more accountable than others, right? Some of us were more accountable than others, and some of us, I went to the last week. But bro, we all hung out that weekend.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do?
Everybody broke it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
See, I broke it the first week.
I know. That's why I was capping on you early.
But I broke it the first week because I had already done it. I was already doing it before.
Brother, the scriptures say, bro, brother asked you to go a mile, go Twain.
I know, but I'm telling you, I would have went 80.
Twain, bro. But the point is about accountability.
God.
Keeping each other accountable, helping each other, right? Read this, Hebrews 10:24.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good work.
Yeah, that's the point. Trying to provoke each other to love and good works. Man, I'm trying to go on this fast. Anybody want to go on it with me? You know what, brother? I'll go on there with you. Okay, cool. This is what we doing. Or what we doing first before I agree. Right? How many days? Like, get the stipulations, but really, you might not even want to be on no damn fast. I didn't want to be on the fast when my gun wanted to go on the fast. I did not want to be on no fast, but I was like, you know what, bro? If you're trying to get something accomplished, it's going to help me too. Because as much as I didn't want to be on one, I needed to be on one, but I knew it was going to give him a little bit of motivation. And sometimes you got to sacrifice that way, right? Sometimes you gotta provoke. You can provoke a person to love and good works by hopping in the trenches with them. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Right?
Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
Right, because this is what the assembling of ourselves together is for. This is why we shouldn't forsake it. This is why you shouldn't forsake having people around you that are going to push you. People around you that are going to fight with you. We shouldn't forsake that. But all too often we do. We keep thinking, I'm going to keep that to myself. I'm going to do it alone. I'm going to do it by myself. You ain't going to get nowhere like that. Woe to him that is left alone. Go ahead.
As the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more.
Right. Exhorting one another as so much the more. Right. Go ahead. Was that it?
As ye see the day approaching.
Right. Yeah. As you see the day, like, we're supposed to be pushing each other and trying to help each other get to that promised land, right? We're supposed to be trying to grab each other, and you can't drag nobody into the kingdom, but you should try to damn near try. Go to Proverbs 27:17. And these little things are just things to consider in a whole, like, when you just try to look at a healthy life. All these things that we're going over, these all promote a healthy lifestyle, right? Having community. Having community is part of a healthy lifestyle. Nomads and lone wolves die alone. But people that have a healthy lifestyle, guess what? They're not going to be in need.
I'm sorry, what was that you just said?
What's that?
The wolves and what?
I said nomads and lone wolves die alone. Because a wolf is a pack animal. There is no such thing as a lone wolf. Right? That's a pack animal. So a wolf that's by itself is dead. A lion outside of a pride is dead. Right? A fish outside of a school is dead. A sheep outside of its herd is dead. Right? Read Proverbs 27:17.
Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. Iron sharpens iron.
So why do we need to keep each other accountable? Why? Read it again.
Iron sharpens iron.
Why is it good to have somebody in the trenches with you? Why?
Iron sharpens iron.
Why did Yahweh Shai send the apostles out in 2s and 3s? Why?
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, so iron can sharpen the iron, man. Right? Iron don't sharpen itself. You got to bang that thing against something. As strong or stronger than it. Right? When you sharpen that knife, you're not sharpening the knife with the meat. You go sharpen the knife. You go rub it against some wood. No, you go rub it against that old damn steel sharpener or iron sharpener. And you see the knife doing what? The knife changes, not the sharpener. The sharpener is built to be grounded on. The knife is what has to conform. Iron sharpeneth iron. Go ahead.
So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
Right, and that's what it's about. A man is supposed to sharpen the countenance, right, of his friend. Ecclesiastes 4:9. And you know, if you look at these men, this is why we fail. This is why we fail at a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because we have nobody to hold us accountable. We try to, as much as we try to hold ourselves accountable. Can you see everything? Can you be everywhere? You got eyes in the back of your head? You got 360 vision? Nah. You don't. So as much as you're trying, I don't doubt anybody tries up in here. As much as you try, guess what? It's always good to have that backup. It's always good to have that extra set of ears, extra set of eyes. It's always good to have that second mind.
Okay.
Right? Watch. Oh, this just hit me. I wasn't going to go into the Apocrypha, but I do want to go into the Apocrypha on this one. Go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 4. Let's see here. Ecclesiasticus. Man, what's the one where it says that thou shalt miscarry?
Continue that with a godly man.
Right, but continue thou with the godly man. Who is known to keep the law? That's in. Who got that? It's in Ecclesiasticus. I thought it was 8 or 4.
One sec.
You went oh.
No, I have precepts.
You know what I'm talking about? I thought it was in 4.
37 and...
Oh, 37?
Okay.
So, 37 and 12. Yep, that's it. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 verse 12. But be continually with the godly man,
Right.
whom thou knowest to keep the commandments.
Right. So the point is what? How can you have your countenance sharpened by somebody that's not in the same mind as you? Right? Because what's really going to sharpen you? The wisdom that comes from them. Go ahead.
The commandments of the Lord,
Right.
whose mind is according to thy mind.
Right. Whose mind is according to thy mind. We got the same goals. We're trying to do the same things. Go ahead.
And will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
Right. And why is this important to have this type of man or woman around you? That way, when I do have to be reminded that I'm stepping out of line or I'm stepping off and I'm failing, right? This person is doing it and coming from a mind of, well, we're supposed to be doing this together. This is what we agreed to do, right? Let's go back to the anchor, the word, right? And re-anchor ourselves and reestablish the motives. So the minds have to be aligned. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And let the counsel.
Right. So he says, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. Right? If you misstep, if you fail, if you fall, they're going to sorrow with you. Meaning what? They're not just going to let you fall and run off, ridicule you. No. To sorrow with a person means what? What does it mean?
Like they're little ones.
Yeah, but in what capacity? When you take it back to the godly sorrow, they're going to watch. They're going to watch with you. They're going to make sure you're clear of the matter. They're going to help you to be more careful. They're going to give you reminders. That's what it means to sorrow. They're not going to sit there and cry with you. Hell nah. That's not the sorrow it's talking about. It's not about crying with you. but they're going to be sympathetic, yes, but they're also going to be more in the mind of how do we not get back to this place? How do we not make these mistakes? Remember, this is what happened the last time. Hey, be careful. Remember, you went down that road the last time. Hey, be careful. Right now, they're the second set. It's like what I've been saying. They're the second set of eyes. They're watching. They're listening. They're your second mind. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So, where we at?
Verse 13.
Ecclesiasticus 4:9. Ecclesiastes 4:9.
Ecclesiastes.
Oh, yeah, let him get one real quick. I'm sorry.
We go to Romans real quick. Romans chapter 1, verse 11.
Right.
Real quick, Romans chapter 1.
Book of Romans chapter 1, verse 11. For I long to see you, that I may impart unto you some spiritual gift.
Go ahead.
To the end ye may be established.
And this is the point right here in verse 12. Go ahead.
That is, that I may be comforted together with you by the mutual faith.
By the mutual what?
Faith.
You see that?
Yeah.
So it's like there's this mutuality, meaning togetherness. You see what I'm saying? Between who? Go ahead.
Mutual faith, both of you and me.
You see that? And it goes perfectly with this accountability and community. That is why, like, when brothers and sisters is doing certain things, it is to have another brother or another sister there with you. Why? Because y'all have that mutual faith. We all know we have the mutual faith in the Most High, but if there's something that's trying to get accomplished, and guess what? We're both trying to accomplish this, then it works out. Because then when one falls, then the other one can pick the other person up, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? And there's the reminder, like what the top was saying, you can't see everything. So you got that other set of eyes. You see that?
Yeah, the Holy part it says that the comfort comes in this mutual faith.
Oh yeah.
Read that verse.
That is, that I may be comforted together with you.
That both parties are going to be comforted. Go ahead.
By the mutual faith, both of you and me.
You see that? So yeah, that mutual faith, though, that mutual understanding, that mutual agreement, there's comfort in that, right? That mutual, you hold me accountable, I'll hold you accountable. Like, you know, I don't know if y'all realize it, but y'all know that y'all hold us accountable, right? Yeah. Y'all hold us accountable. We hold y'all accountable, but y'all hold us accountable because our example, if it's not a good example for you to follow, then what? Then you'll follow some whack example and have a good excuse, right? But we know that we got to be accountable in the right way to y'all, right? But our accountability is with the Most High at the end of the day. But we still have to be good stewards, good shepherds, whatever you want to call it, good examples, right? I got to be a good example to him. You got to be a good example to me, and vice versa. So we're all holding each other accountable. There's a mutual accountability. There should be a mutual comfort also that what? If I'm holding myself accountable, the next person is going to do that. And if I'm not, then guess what? Let me know. Tell me. Y'all see that? Ecclesiastes 4:9.
Ecclesiastes 4, verse 9.
Right. So remember, we're still talking about this accountability within community for better health, right? Go ahead.
Two are better than one.
Right. Go ahead.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
Right. Not that one won't have a good reward, but that reward is just going to take longer. It's going to take longer to come. You have to work double the amount, double hard. So two are better than one. Go ahead.
Because they have a good reward for their labor, for if they fall,
right,
the one will lift up his fellow.
Right. You see that? If they fall, there's at least somebody there to pick the other one up. We both down. It says if they fall, one will pick the other up. Somebody's should have the mind that, hey, we're down, but we're not out. Go ahead.
But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he had not another to help him up.
Right. And that's the conundrum with trying to do things alone physically and really mentally, trying to do this walk in the Most High, it's hard to I'm gonna say it like this: you're alone, but you're not alone, because every man has to do what? What?
Communicate?
No. As far as in your own faith, every man has to be convinced in his own mind.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like what I do is not gonna hold the convincing in your mind for your life. You got to do the things that's gonna promote your faith, your belief, right? But we still got to be here with others to see that things can be done and that good things can be accomplished, and that I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back, right? I'm here for you, you there for me. At the same time, I got to be here for me. I got to fight my fight, right? Remember, he said, bear ye one another's burdens, but then he said, but he came right back after that and said, let every man bear his own burden. Meaning what? I can't take my issues and just dump them off on the next man and be like, here, my problem is your problem, nigga. Here you go. No, it doesn't necessarily work like that. But what it is, oh man, you going through it? I got your back. But he still got to do the things he got to do within himself, right? To be able to carry that burden. He still has to be willing to say, you know what? I'm going to carry this thing until somebody is there to help. When Jacob wrestled the angel, right? Who was there with Jacob? But himself. So he had to wrestle and wrestle and wrestle and wrestle, right? Where's his sons at? They ain't there. Where's his mom at? Nowhere to be found. Daddy? Nope. Nobody's there. Nobody's coming. So you have to hold it down, right? You have to hold it down. And a lot of the times, that's how it is sometimes. You're there in this battle alone for the most part, so to speak, but you still have brothers and sisters around you that are willing and able to try to lift some of that burden off you. Yeah. Right? That's why Psalms 133 is so important, because you say unity is the ointment. Getting together and trying to forget some of those problems, man. Because in the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. Oh. Right? That's the point. You are supposed to get around each other. We are supposed to be able to get around each other and not just dwell on, man, this is going bad, that's going bad, this is whack, that's happening. The world is dying. Right. We broke this, that. Like, nah, we together. We ain't even dealing with that. Right? We're gonna be broke together in our own world, playing dominoes and drinking cheap liquor. Cheap bastard. Cheap bastard. Don't even, you like drinking, you like, what was the point of that? Right? That's funny.
It gets you there, but it don't get you there.
It don't get you nowhere. Right? Go to Romans 15:1. It gets you to a place, but not the place you would think that you thought you was going to be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Romans 15:1, read that.
Romans chapter 15, verse 1. Uh-huh. We then that are strong, right, shall bear the infirmity of the weak.
Right, but that don't last all the time. That don't last forever. There's always going to be weak amongst us. But the point is what? For that weak to become strong. You lift that burden off them and you bear their infirmity so they can strengthen themselves up. Not so they can continue to be weak. You lift that burden to show them that they could be accountable for themselves too. Yeah. That's what that's about. Go ahead.
And not to please ourselves.
Right.
Let every one of us please his neighbor.
Right.
For his good to edification.
Right. Edification. Spiritual building. This is what's supposed to build us spiritually. Is being able to bear the burdens of the weak. Lesson 8. Lesson number 8. Gratitude. Giving thanks to the Most High and being content with what you have. So what does this knock down? Selfishness, right? And thinking that we're owed things. So gratitude and contentment is lesson 8. No. Lesson 7 was accountability and community.
How do you spell contentment?
Contentment. Contentment.
Well,
So, I mean, let's go to it. First Timothy 6:5. And why is contentment so important? Well, because this is a capitalistic world, man. This whole world is about gain, right? It doesn't matter how many pairs you have. That new pair is coming out. I gotta get them, right? No matter how many pairs, like. I remember there was one time in the history of my life when I went in my closet and I might have had 50 pair of blue jeans. Whoa. Just blue.
Oh.
No. That's just blue. I had black jeans. I had different color jeans, but I had at least 50 pairs of just blue jeans. And I thought to myself, like, man, how many pairs of jeans does one dude need? It's insane. Right? What? You got something to say? What?
No, I was gonna say sometimes you gotta switch the swag up.
But it's blue jeans. Like,
so
they weren't that much different from each other. I feel like I was becoming a jean hoarder.
Yeah.
Right? Jeans and shoes, and sometimes, man, it's just the contentment is I know I can get it, but do I need it? Right? Because a lot of them blue jeans, a lot of them pants, bro, there's been times where you have a closet full of clothes and the tags are still on some stuff. It's like, why did I buy that? Why did I get that? Oh, I'm gonna wear it. Nope. You end up giving it away.
Maybe you just caught it on a good deal.
But that's the point about being contentment. Think about being content. Well, I saved $5 on it, right? But you spent 20. So you gave away 20 to save 5? That's all I understand people. They're like, oh, it was a good deal. I couldn't pass it up. So you couldn't pass up giving away something? To save a little bit on something? Like you could have saved the whole 30. You could have saved the whole 25, but you gave away 25 to gain 5? But you really didn't really gain?
Don't really gain it, right?
That's why it's important to be content, because then you won't go through life thinking that I have to have this or that or an abundance of everything. Read it. 1 Timothy's.
It's like going to Walmart. You go there for one thing. Well, back in the day when people used to actually go to Walmart.
And you leave out with a shopping cart full of nonsense. Yeah. And some things ain't nonsense. But a lot of it was nonsense. You buying new brooms.
For no reason.
It's like, why am I buying a new broom?
Because it was on sale.
Because it came with a dustpan. That's why. You like, oh, this is the dustpan broom set. Like, they had it all nice and just... That place was set up in a way where it just trapped you, bro.
Question, anybody go to Walmart anymore?
Y'all still go inside of Walmart? Oh, y'all are tripping. Oh. Everything online.
Not for groceries.
Not for groceries.
Not for groceries.
Like for stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Really? Yeah, I just have some, bro.
Well, yeah, that's understandable, but
it's not
like back then. Like you used to go to Walmart
for everything.
I remember like once a week.
Oh yeah, way more than that.
You used to go like
you leave class where you got to. Oh, I gotta hit the Wally World.
Anybody go to Walmart once a week anymore? Not for groceries.
You get things delivered.
Yeah, bro. I'm on a whole different swag. I'm not stepping inside no Walmart, bro. The worst thing at Walmart is trying to find parking.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'll probably go to Walmart like 7 times each year.
Yeah. Now?
Max.
Yeah. Target even less.
Yeah, Target. I ain't been in Target in years.
That's funny. Shalom to my brother, Damien. Shalom. That's hilarious.
Y'all remember Kmart?
I remember Kmart.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Kmart.
Hey, who?
Kmart. Yeah, read that.
1 Timothy chapter.
But it's spots like Walmart that made you greedy. Because you walk in there and be like, oh, I can get all this for $50. Bro, that's cheap plastic stuff. Right? With stuff that you didn't even need. Cheap electronics. But it's funny, I watched a documentary on Walmart. I watched a documentary on how Walmart changed the whole, they literally changed the whole U.S. economy and put it into this damn downspin. That was Walmart that did it. People don't realize it. They made other companies have to go to China. They made buying from China the thing. Because if you couldn't come with like cheap manufacturing and cheap product, Walmart wouldn't mess with you. Walmart wouldn't mess with you. They just go to the next thing because they wanted to try to capitalize on the money. So it made people go and set up in China because they were going to China already and getting a bunch of cheap electronics, right? There was lawsuits with like Sanyo. You gotta look into it. It's a dope documentary I watched on this dude. The dude was smart. Sam Martin? Sam Walton, yeah. Where you get Walmart and Sam's Club. Yeah, the same. That's why they always
The more you know.
why they always next to each other. Yeah, he was a smart business dude, but he was shifty with it when playing games, right? But he got the U.S. economy, especially into the U.S. consumers, into this greed mode of like gathering and just needing the abundance of things. He really promoted that. Walmart promoted that. Read on.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
But godliness.
No.
Verse
5.
Chapter 6
and 5.
Verse 5.
Yeah, 5.
Verse 5.
Right?
Perverse disputings of men,
Uh-huh.
of corrupt minds,
Go ahead.
and destitute of the truth.
There's a reason why it started up here. Because you'll see the ones that are greedy of gain, it says that they're in perverse disputes and corrupted mind, destitute of the truth. Go ahead.
The supposing that gain is godliness.
Right, because ain't that what we see on TV? Right? I got 50 million chains. I got 100 guns, 100 clips. I got all the cars. Like, look at, like you look at like a cat like Rick Ross, and they do these little tours of his house, and he got 30 million cars just sitting there, and it's like,
He has no license.
he just bought a watch for like $20 million. They were like, bro, you got God on that. A $20 million watch. It wasn't even that. I don't think it was that. And if it was like some one of one. Bro, I think that watch was like, I almost want to say it was a Jacob.
It was Jacob.
It was a Jacob.
Yeah, wow. The watch looks good.
The watch does look good, but not for 20 million B. Not when I could go get other watches for less than that.
Or you go on Temu and get the same one.
Bro, nobody's going to Temu because by the time I want to floss it online, it's going to take too long to get here. Yeah, you're like Temu, man. Temu be capping, bro.
No, see me as
like 18 months later, and I still ain't got the watch to floss.
Yeah, I'll just go to Walmart.
But the point is, why does a man that has so many watches and need a $20 million watch?
That's crazy.
Right? I just don't get it. But it tells you why. Because their minds are destitute of truth. It's because they're perverse. Mm-hmm. They're perverse in their thinking. Right? They think that godliness is gain. They think, oh, the Most High is with me because I'm gaining. So let me keep gaining, but that's a perverse mind still. Go ahead, read on.
From such,
right?
Withdraw thyself.
He said, do what?
Withdraw thyself.
The Most High said to separate from that mind. Withdraw yourself from that person and from that mentality. Read on.
But godliness,
right,
with contentment,
right,
is great gain.
Right. Godliness with contentment is great gain. And a lot of people don't want to be content. Somebody look up the word content. And you know what's wild about contentment? Check this out. So we just read perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds. Right? So it's telling you that their minds and their spirits are corrupt. Right? Now I'm going to show y'all 8 benefits of being content and having gratitude. And guess what the first one is?
Rest.
Mental and emotional health.
Wow.
Gratitude involves recognizing and approaching the positive aspects of life. Cultivating a habit of gratitude can lead to increased feeling of happiness, reduced stress, Improve mental well-being. You see that? Contentment involves being satisfied with what one has rather than constantly desiring more. Because think about what's killing people. Isn't it the desire to have? You desire to have, but you don't have. You ask, but you receive not. You know how many people are dying because they don't have something? But they actually do have something. They just want the more to add to the pot. That's what's killing people, man, is that desire to have or the lack of contentment in their life. It's okay to be content. Does that mean that you're settling for mediocrity? No. Doesn't mean that you're being mediocre. Doesn't mean that it's subpar because you settle. Right? Sometimes you do have to settle to be able to see what's going on. That way you can understand, okay, I know I'm dealing with this right here. I'm going to settle for this right now. I'm going to deal with what I have, and I'm going to be able to make a better move going forward. There's nothing wrong with being content. What you got?
So, contentment, a state of happiness and satisfaction.
Mm-hmm. So being satisfied, right? Now, why is contentment important when it comes to our health? Being content, because what destroys our health is the lack of satisfaction, right? It's that evil concupiscence. It's that man, you know what? I know I just ate 3 plates, but I want 4ths. Right? Yeah, be content with the 2 plates. I know I just ate 3 plates, drank 4 sodas, but man, that dessert, gotta get me some of that cheesecake or some of that pie or some of that pound cake. Bro, you can't fit the pound cake. Well, I'm gonna make it fit. What the hell? Be content. Be content with what you have. Don't worry, there'll be pound cake and cakes. Cake, right? There'll be all that the next time. But see, we don't think about that. We don't think about, man, there's gonna be a next time. We live every day like it's our damn last. And not in a good way. We live every day as our last, so we feel like we gotta just hoard things up like a chipmunk. Right? And you just hoarding everything up to yourself. But for what? Have a little faith. Show a little bit of faith towards the Most High, because that's what contentment deals with. It deals with your faith. Right? Being content is going to deal with your faith and you knowing that, you know what? I had enough. I got my fill. You know what? Let me go do what I got to do. And when I come back, there's going to be more for me to have. The Most High will provide, right? What else you got?
Some synonyms are fulfillment.
Right? Being fulfilled. What else?
Happiness.
Happy. Right? What else?
Gratification.
Right. Right. See, that's why I have gratitude in there also, because I'm going to go into it. So let me drop some of these on y'all. So, like 8 things that have to deal with contentment. 8 positives, right? So what do you got? I already said 1, mental and emotional health. 2, stress reduction. Right? Why is it stress reduction when you're content? Because now I'm not having to keep up with the Joneses. Right? Now I'm going to kill myself to try to go get something that I might not be able to afford. I'm not going to put myself in a compromising position to have to get and get and get and get and get. Right? And then have to do the upkeep. Right? So stress reduction. It helps you to keep a positive outlook. Because what are you looking at? You're looking at what the Most High has given you. You're looking at the fact that the Most High is taking care of you and that you're not in need. Right? See, a lot of us are not content and we try to hoard because we don't want to be in need. But think about it. You're already not really in need. So you're overdoing it. Right? Positive outlook. It helps your physical health. So physical health. I'll read it. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude and contentment can have positive effects on the physical health. Reduced stress and anxiety levels can lead to improved heart health, immune system function, and overall longevity. Why? Because I'm not stuffing myself full of food to destroy my heart, to destroy my lungs. Right? Sleep quality. How many of us can't sleep? Because what does it say about riches? And a nigga that got them. He's awake watching for his riches. Right? It said the weariness of riches take away sleep. Right? So what you waiting on? You waiting for somebody to come rob, steal, right? You gotta set all the alarms, right? You gotta do all the bells and whistles, and then you still ain't getting no rest, right? So sleep quality. Grateful and content individuals often experience improved sleep quality. Their minds are less burdened with worries, making it easier to relax. A lot of us can't even relax in our own skin, in our own homes, because we too caught up in what's the next thing for me to add to myself, right? Relationships. Gratitude and contentment contribute to a healthier relationship. Expressing gratitude can strengthen connections with others, leading to improved social support and reduced feelings of loneliness. Right? Because think about contentment with a spouse. And especially in our line of business, we're what? We know what the scriptures say about a man having more than one wife, right? So what does that automatically thrust into the wife's mind? I'm not good enough. No, you're good enough. But I can make choices, right? Or what does that put in the man's mind? Well, the Bible says I can have them. But Timothy said to be the husband of a first wife. So what is he saying there? He's telling you to be content with that first one and build that first one before you go branch out into anything else. So contentment, even in that aspect, is very important because now we get to develop our relationship, right? That first husband and wife, they get to develop their relationship and deal with the things they got to deal with before now he goes and tries to conquer another city. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Right? Number 7, lifestyle choices. Content individuals are less likely to engage in excessive consumerism. You see that? Or pursue materialistic goals. This can result in healthier lifestyle choices as the focus shifts from seeking happiness in possessions to valuing experiences, relationships, and personal well-being. So this helps you to shift your mind from what you should be trying to gain, right? We're supposed to be, it says, he that is wise gain what? He that is wise winneth souls, right? Right, because that's the business that we should be in. How do we gain this soul? Not add to me, not add to my pocket, not add to anything carnal. That shouldn't be the mind. That's going to already be there, right? And number 8, mindfulness and presence. Both gratitude and contentment encourage individuals to be more mindful and present in the moment. So you're thinking about what you have in the moment, not thinking about tomorrow, right? Because Matthew, the 6th chapter, says what? Give no thought for tomorrow. Let tomorrow take care of itself, right? So you're thinking about the present. And a lot of the times when you're dealing with your health, you have to think about the present, right? You think about the present because when you start getting caught up in, again, oh, what am I going to eat tonight? Guess what you start thinking about? You start letting that belly rule you, right? And you oh well, man, I ain't gonna have time to eat nothing tonight. You know what? Let me slide over here to the fast food spot and shovel down some trash into my throat, right? And then what happens? You start to ruin your health. You start to go back on the commitments you've made. So mindfulness and presence, being present in the moment, it's important. That's important, right? We got to do a lot more of that and not trying to reach so far into the future, right? Go to 1 Thessalonians 5:18. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Did you finish that, Timothy's? Nope, you didn't. Read that. Read that Thessalonians, and then we're going to go back to this Timothy's real quick.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18.
Actually, hold that. Read the Timothy's. Let's finish it.
1 Timothy chapter 6 and
6.
6.
Right?
But godliness with contentment is great gain.
Go ahead.
For we brought nothing into this world.
But think about how much you have. You didn't bring a darn thing into this world, but think about how much you have. You was born butt naked. And think about how much you have. Go ahead.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Go ahead.
And having food and raiment,
right?
Let us be therewith content.
Yeah. The rest will take care of itself, man. I got food and clothing. I'm good to go. A little shelter over my head. I'm good to go. Right? Now go to that Thessalonians. First Thessalonians. Why can't I say
First Thessalonians 5 verse 18.
Right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Everything give thanks.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the will of the Most High and Yahweh Shah concerning you.
Yeah, in everything give thanks, man. We sometimes neglect. And I'm not trying to act like we're supposed to be over righteous. Right? But in everything, we got to at least acknowledge that the Most High is there with us. Even in some of the things you don't feel is just. Well, I didn't get the exact car I wanted, or I didn't get the exact rib I wanted, or I didn't get the exact number of bedrooms in the apartment I wanted, or I didn't get the exact phone I wanted. Well, give thanks that you got something. Right? Give thanks that you got the rib, the phone, the car. You ain't got to be walking. It's 100. Listen. The Most High been giving us a break. It's like 90 degrees yesterday, 99 today. That's a break. It's going to go right back up to the 101s. 104 tomorrow, something crazy. But imagine having to walk in that. Right. You're happy now about the vehicle, right? Yeah. You pay them payments now. You turn on that payment now. I hate this car payment. Now when you got a smash on the pavement, and your whole shoe is melting to the sidewalk. Once you tell yourself, you know what? I hate my own voice.
Yeah.
Right? James. Go to 5:18. Go to James real quick. 4:13.
James chapter 4, verse 13.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow,
right?
We will go into such a city and continue there a year.
Right.
And buy and sell.
Right, yeah. He's like, oh, you making plans a year out? Nigga, you brave. You bold. Go ahead.
And get gain.
Go ahead.
Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening tomorrow. You don't know what is yet to come. You don't know what the Most High got planned. You making plans a year out. You better deal with today. You better deal with the right now, not the later. Go ahead.
For what is your life?
Read.
It is even a vapor.
Right.
That appeareth for a little time.
Uh-huh.
And then vanisheth away.
Go ahead.
For that ye ought to say.
See, this is what you should be thinking. Go ahead.
If the Lord will.
Come on.
We shall live and do this or that.
Right. If the Lord will it. If it be the Lord will. We got to get more in that habit. Yeah, man, so in a year, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And man, if the Lord will, in a year, the Most High will. This is the plan.
God willing.
God will. Yeah. But a lot of the time we get caught up thinking like, oh, nah, I'm going to go over here and this got to happen. Yeah. That's why it don't happen. That's why it don't happen, because we're not giving him enough of that credit. We're forgetting, right? We're forgetting who's even giving us the ability to go out and go here and go there and do this and sell oils and wake up and drive cars. And come on, man, you got catching heart attacks behind the wheel. That's how Macho Man Randy Savage died. The nigga died of a heart attack driving. That's one of the things we do the most. Imagine catching a heart attack behind the wheel. Something that you just do. Imagine not waking up from your sleep. Right? So we do got to give the Most High that thanks. You do got to be content. A little less complaining and murmuring of our situations. And sometimes you just got to be content with where the Most High got you, man. And not sometimes. When I'm saying sometimes, does that mean that you don't do anything? You just sit around and just let life run you? Nah, but sometimes you got to sit back and say, you know what? Most High got me in this position. There's not really much I can do to get out of it. I just got to hold this. I got to hold this post for a moment. Yeah. It's not that I'm not going to never get out of this position. I just got to I got to hold this down and learn these lessons, right? And then he'll promote me to the next spot. Sometimes, man, we just in positions that we just can't move out of. It just is what it is, right? It just is what it is. But we got to accept that. The sister asked about patience on Monday, right? But see, this is what it goes into. Being content is about being patient. Because the more you try to affect your situation in a hasty way, the less contentment and gratitude you show to the Most High. We should be happy that he's even given us lessons and given us chances to do things better. Right? So, very important. 15 minutes. This is easy. Go to so lesson number 9. Setting realistic goals. Find me something on it. Go to that last one. Scroll up. Find me something on this. Oh, wait. Setting realistic goals, right? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. My bad. Lesson 9, setting realistic goals and persistence. Right? Setting a goal and fighting to achieve the goal. Being persistent. Right? Why is this important? Why is it important to have goals?
Well, I think the reason why it's important to have goals is because you have something to work towards.
Right. You have something to work towards, but you know where you're working from. When you set a goal here, that means that you're acknowledging you're here. Right?
Right.
Yeah, if your goal is up here, that means you ain't up here.
Right.
So that's you subconsciously and not subconsciously telling yourself, I got work to do. I got to climb. I got to move up. But if you're like, I ain't got no goals, I'm good. You're telling I'm perfect. I don't got nothing to work on. But when I say, yeah, you know what? I do got a goal. My goal is to be such and such in 6 months. That means I got to put in work to achieve that goal. Right? So go to one of our favorites, Proverbs 29 and verse 18.
Proverbs 29, verse 18.
That boy in step. Mm-hmm. Read that.
Where there is no vision,
right?
The people perish.
Yeah, where there's no vision, where there's nothing to look to, you will perish. You will. How and what does it mean? Like, let's just think about it. You're gonna die in that level that you're in. You're gonna die in that level. If anything, when there's no goal, it's easier to just keep falling down. When there's nothing to reach towards, it's easy to just regress. Right? So you got to set goals. And why, like, is it just let me set any old goal? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go on a 100-day fast. You ain't never fasted before. Hold up, bruh. Let's get the Day of Atonement down first. Right? Let's get a 24-hour fast in before you doing 100 days. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do a dry fast. 40 days, 40 nights. I'm powerful. Moses. Like Christ, Doc. No, hold up, bro. Have you ever fasted that long? Right? I get it. We want to do big things in the spirit in the name of the Most High in Christ, but the goal's got to be realistic. Man, you know what? I'm trying to work on my health. Like, I'll tell you my struggle. I'll be honest with y'all. My biggest struggle with working on my health, it's not what I eat. It's not what I drink. It's not how much I eat. It's when I eat. It's when I eat. I get late demons.
Nighttime eating, man.
I get late night demons. And especially if I'm up. But now that I've been doing this research, I know why. I know why I get late night demons. Who get late cravings up in here? Right. Do you know why?
No,
because that's when the parasites wake up. Yeah, they get hungry. I ain't tripping. That's when the damn candida. That's when the candida wakes up in your body, and they start yawning. You try to go to bed because you yawning. They waking up, and all of a sudden, There's something called gremlin. What is it? Is it called gremlin? Ghrelin. That hunger, right? But them demons and parasites want to be fed. So my biggest thing is, now that I know that, I gotta purge the parasites. That way, like when I get home after class, it's gonna be 10 o'clock. What I look like eating a meal at 10:15. And that's the norm for me, though. That's the norm. But that's what affects my sleep at night, right? Because I'm not sleeping good, and I'm waking up 4 times to go pee. So, remember we talked about sleep the other day. Once you break your sleep once in the night, good night. That sleep is trash. Because there's no such thing as, I got a good night's sleep or broken sleep. There's no such thing. Right? So you got to understand your goals and your struggles. I got to understand my struggles so I can set goals to break past the struggle, but I got to be realistic. So one of my goals is I got to stop eating at a certain time. So what did I do before I got to class? Before on the drive up, I got me a little trail mix, some nuts, little coconut flakes and plantain. I ate that. I ate one of these. When I go home, I'm not going to eat real. I am not going to eat that delicious meal you're going to tell me. Because she's going to text me at 9:05. Chill on, babe. There's food in the oven if you're hungry. That's the setup. Not that she's setting me up. Because I'm going to walk in the house. Right? And I'm like, I ain't hungry. But I'm like, let me look at it. I'm like, let me see it. Let me see what she made. Because she won't tell me, babe, what'd you make? Food. She does me like this. So I got to go home and explore. So I'll go home and be like, you know what? Let me put it away. Let me take it out the oven so it don't. Yeah. I look at this, it's something scrumptious. Last night was fish, man. The night before that, so last night was salmon. The night before that was some other fish. I wasn't trying to eat that late, but I craved. I caved. I caved. Right? But tonight, I'm gonna stand on my. I'm setting. I set myself up I already ate. I ate my fruits. I ate some nuts. Yeah. I'm drinking my agua. I'm probably having some water. And that's going to be it. I'm trying to get me some sleep tonight. Right? I'm trying to use the bathroom and then not wake up to pee. Yeah, bro, y'all don't get it. Waking up to pee is the worst thing ever. And especially for me, because there's something wrong with one of my arches. So when I wake up, I forget, because you're in the middle of sleep, and I start walking, and my arch is messed up. So it just be real tight at night. So I'm like creeping. Yeah, it's all bad, man. I got problems. I got issues. I'm getting old, man. You know what?
Can't strike the hill, huh?
Bruh.
Did I also run the track?
It was probably from long jumping. Yeah, it was probably from track. All the damn jumping I did in basketball. Everything don't last forever, right? But the point is this. You have to understand your struggle to be able to set good goals, right? You can't say, I want to pass my test, but you're a whack-ass studier. You got to say, wait, I need to pass my test, but my issue is not the test, it's how I study. So let me change my study habits. So my goal is to not go home and turn TV on. My goal is to go home and not go right to bed when I go home. See, you set those goals and you develop that pattern. So my goal is to not eat. It's just to change the times when I eat. And that's going to affect different things for me. I know that for a fact it's going to. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to be able to do a little bit more in the daytime, move around, right? Because if you ain't rested, you can't work out. You don't have the desire to work out, right? So how can you help your health in that way? So setting goals, right?
And then sometimes, like even with the setting goals, especially if it's working out, sometimes you just got to start small.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's about starting. That's what I'm saying. Being realistic in the goal.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, I'll say for myself because I'll use myself for an example. Sometimes I'm like, man, I need to get back to working out, but I'm like, I don't want to do everything I was doing working out though.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So I'm like, but then I'm like, if I could just do something little,
start with push-ups, start with sit-ups, start with basic things you can knock out and feel good about yourself, not get injured, not have setbacks, not hate wanting to work out. Because I mean, who really likes to work out? I don't. It's not a thing that I like to go into a sweaty, musty-ass gym with a bunch of weird-looking dudes and weird-looking women and jump on some sweaty machine. That's like not fun for me, right? But guess what? I got to do it, right? To be able to be mobile, to be able to move around. Jump from there. Go to Proverbs 21 and 5.
Proverbs.
Chapter
21, verse 5.
Go ahead, read that.
The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness.
Right. See, but if I have a vision, I'm going to be thinking on the plenteousness. But not just wanting to, again, not just, I need to gain. But I'm going to be developing a plan on how to increase. Because this is just showing you how to increase. Right? This is how to increase things. Go ahead.
But of everyone that is hasty,
right,
only to once.
Right. Everyone that's hasty, you making moves too quick. But what happens? You end up in a situation worse off than when before you were hasty, because you made a move, and then what? It was the wrong move. Now you what? Now you in need. Now you took a loss, right? So he's showing us how to, when we do set these goals, not to be hasty. You can set goals, and there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I'm here. In 6 months, I want to be here. In a year, I want to be here. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? But if I rush everything to get and skip the first to jump, right? What do they say? You got to crawl before you walk before you run. Yeah. But sometimes you're like, oh, no, I don't want to do the walking thing. I just want to be able to crawl and then fly. It's like, come on, bro. You're skipping steps. But then you guess what? It goes back to patience. Being patient and letting patience have her perfect work so that you be complete wanting nothing. You miss the complete lesson because you rush through the lessons. You see that? Go from there. Go to Luke 14:28. So realistic goals and persistence. And then I'm going to give you a few. Y'all could always go and read these. Y'all can have a little homework. Y'all can go and read these stories about these people and them having to be persistent. Right? So read that real quick. Luke 14:28.
Luke chapter 14, verse 28.
Right?
For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first,
right,
and counteth the cost?
Yeah, well, a lot of us be moving too hasty. You don't sit down and count the cost. You just like, I feel like this, so I'm going to do it. And then what happens? Then what happens, man? Well, I need a car. Let me go buy a car. You go buy a car, and then a week later, the car is broken down. It's like, well, wait a minute. Why'd you rush into that car? Well, I need a car. I can do it. But did you think about that car? And how much you were going to pay for it? What the maintenance, this, that? Did you sit down and count those costs?
It's like you turn something that was supposed to be good into sorrow.
Yeah. You turn that blessing, right? You turn that blessing into a sorrow. And we do that on our own. Most High don't do that. Right? So every good gift that coming down is a good gift from the Lord. We turn things into sorrow because of our hastiness, because of our lack of setting goals. Go ahead.
And counted the cost.
Because the lack of us counting the cost and seeing, do I have the long-term ability to maintain what it is I'm going after? Right? He talks about his, who's that in Jamaica that was built, your aunt, building a house? Now the house is just a shell. There's a doorway. Because it's like, wait, you didn't calculate to see if you was going to have money to build the whole house? You ain't got no walls up? You just got to...
No roof. No, there's just a wall.
You got walls and no roof?
There's a cutout for the windows. There's a cutout for the doors. No roof. It's just walls.
That's wild.
Yeah.
count the cost. But see, we don't want to be like that. We don't want to be those type of builders. You're like, yeah, I'm going to build this thing, but are you going to be able to go through the whole building process? Or are you going to be missing some windows? Because what's a house without windows and doors? Defenseless. Yeah. A lot of weather. It's going to be in that house. A lot of nature. Right? Go ahead.
Whether he has sufficient to finish it.
Right. And that's a question. Who does that? Only a fool. Right? So biblical examples of persistence and determination. Because part of setting goals is about being persistent. You got Daniel, right? You had Daniel where what? He persisted in praying to the Most High, even though the decree was sent out. No one prayed to the Most High. Bow to Nebuchadnezzar, right? You had Nehemiah, where his persistence and determination was to rebuild the temple. It said they had shovels in one hand and swords in the other, right? And no matter what they faced, you had cats coming up ridiculing them and talking crap. He did his thing, right? You had Esther. Remember, she was determined and she was very persistent on staying with Naomi. Naomi was telling her, nah, you can leave and go do your thing. And she was like, nah, I want to be with you. Huh? Ruth. What did I say? I said Esther. Right. That's why y'all all looked at me funny. Right. Ruth. I read Esther. I'm tripping. Right. Ruth. Right. You did have Esther though, right? She was persistent on doing what? Making sure she was able to get with the king to be able to stop him from sending that decree out to get us all wiped out, right? So you had Jacob. He was determined to wrestle the angel till he got blessed, right? You have Paul. Paul's his whole life after Christ was about determination, setting up those churches, right? All the things that befell him, the shipwrecks twice, the stripes from his brethren, the jails, the contentions, the fightings, all these different things took persistence, right? Samuel's mother, Hannah, she was persistent in, if you give me a son, I'll give him to the priesthood, right? The Canaanite woman, right? Remember her? She was persistent on even the dogs eat the crumbs. Con, you're right. You admitted it. You know what's up. Daughter is healed, right? So you have these different examples in the scriptures, men and women, that they had to be persistent, right? You had the widow that went to the king that wanted to be avenged. You read that in Luke 18. She wanted to be avenged, and he said it. He said I'm gonna avenge this woman of her enemies or whatever it was. He said because of her persistence, because she ain't gonna stop coming to me.
Yeah.
Right? She ain't gonna stop. He said, yeah, you know what? I might as well do that. Right? So persistence, right? That's about moving forward. Go to Philippians 3 and verse 13. So that's what persistence is, to persist, to move forward, right? To keep going forward. And that's how we got to push our mind, because there's going to be setbacks in everything. Doesn't matter if it's mental health, physical health. It doesn't matter what it is, man. You're going to have setbacks, but do you let the setback hold you? No, you gotta push past it. That's a part of goal setting, is to know, you know what? I got to have some room to crash, right? I got to have my stop loss set. Right? My take profit is up here, but I got to have a stop loss just in case. Do I stop trading because I hit the stop loss once? Con? Right? But if you know what you're doing, you keep going. I stopped trading for a whole year. I was hitting that stop loss. I'm like, man, I'm done with this. I'm finished. I got depressed. Start looking at my account. I go in there every so often, look at the Forex, like,
Could have been.
What could have been. But I ain't messing with you. Corey, would you call it, Corey, a love-hate relationship?
Yeah.
Read Philippians 3:13.
Philippians chapter 3, verse 13.
Right?
Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended.
Go ahead.
But this one thing I do.
So it's not that I've apprehended and I don't have to keep fighting and keep pushing myself forward, but what do? Go ahead.
Forgetting those things which are behind.
Right. Forgetting what's behind me. Forgetting the mishaps, the mistakes. Right? Because we all got them. But the longer you let that mistake hold you, guess what? Guess what? The harder it is to get back. The harder it is to move forward. Forgetting those things that are behind. Go ahead.
And reaching forth unto those things which are before.
Go ahead.
I press toward the mark.
Go ahead.
For the prize of the high calling of God and Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Isaiah 43 and 18. Galatians 6 and 9.
Isaiah 43 and 18.
Psalms 37:23. They're going to say them again. Don't worry. I'm just throwing them out there. Read the first one.
Isaiah chapter 43, verse 18.
Right.
Remember ye not the former things,
See that? Go ahead.
neither consider the things of old.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will do a new thing.
And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a renewal, a new thing. But you can't get that new thing if you're constantly thinking about the old.
No.
In a way of being held back. Because remember, he said, ask for the old paths. Ask for the old way that is good. Go ahead.
Now it shall spring forth.
Read.
Shall ye not know it?
Mm-hmm.
I will even make a way in the wilderness.
Right.
And rivers in the desert.
Right. So go to the next one.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 9.
Go ahead.
And let us not be weary in well-doing.
See, don't get weary in the well-doing. Don't get weary in doing good. Right? It just, sometimes you don't see the result right away. Sometimes you don't see what's happening right away. Right? But you can't stop because you don't see the result right away. That's another little trap. Right? You be studying. You're like, man, I've been studying and studying and studying, and I just don't get it. But guess what? Just because you don't see the result don't mean you stop. Keep going.
You know, just even on that, if you're not used to studying, then you're not going to see any results right away because your mind isn't exercised in doing that. So you got to get your mind so you can be exercised in doing that. So then where you keep doing it, then you start to get the results. So it's just like anything. Like when you first start doing it at first, you're not good at it or you don't get it because your body isn't used to it. But then when your body becomes good at it or your mind becomes good at it, you just do it second nature.
Wow. See, San Antonio's going over a class right now, how to process setbacks and hard times. That's wild.
Oh, wow.
That's wild how we come with the same points sometimes. Because, bro, we understand. Cats dealing with basically the same things, man. But read that. Finish that Galatians.
For in due season,
right?
We shall reap.
Right. In due season, we'll reap. But you only reap if you keep going out there. What's the next one I wanted?
Psalms chapter 37, verse 23.
Right.
The steps of a good man
Right.
are ordered by the Lord.
Right. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Go ahead.
And he delighteth in his way.
Come on.
Though he fall.
Though he what?
Fall.
Because a just man falls 7 times. Read.
He shall not be utterly cast down.
This is what you got to understand. Babies fall when they walk. They sulk. Unless they get some real bad injury. Are they sulking or are they popping right back up to walk some more? That's how we got to approach it, like a babe. That's why he said if you don't come like a babe, you got to forget about that last fall and know that I got more steps to take. I got to keep walking. Right? Go ahead.
For the Lord upholdeth him with his hand.
Right. Lesson 10. Lesson 10 is easy. Reflection. Application. Right? Yeah, it's all good. What you got? Good, I'll let you hit it because yeah, but that's all we need. That's all we need is one. Yeah. Reflection and application. So why did I end it like this? Well, because yeah. Look back on the class. If we got these health goals, these health things that we want to deal with, it's important because if you don't see it, that's like the new attack. It's been the attack, but it's like the really new attack. right? When they got these lists out of like foods banned in other countries. It's all the staples of our diet is banned in other countries. Think about that. All U.S. chicken banned in all the other countries. All U.S. pork is not a staple of our diet. We know that. But U.S. pork banned in other countries. High fructose syrup banned in Europe and in Mexico. But they let us shovel it down. We have a damn FDA. We have a Food and Drug Administration that allows us to shovel these things down our throat at a high rate. Who eats hot dogs?
Oh God.
Right, because we all had some the other night. Right? Hot dogs, bologna, processed meats. Those are a level 1 carcinogen, meaning they can cause cancer. And guess what? That's been proven. It's very disgusting. They're delicious, but they're disgusting. Yeah. I love a good glizzy, right? But they're disgusting. Hot dogs are so nasty, man. They're tasty. Fry them up real nice. Get you some mayo on the bun, little onion, little mustard. I'm putting demons on everybody, right? Little relish. Right. See, I like to get like 3 hot dogs. I get to dress them up different. I put onions on one. I put mustard and ketchup on another. Right? I get chili dog on another. Look at Corey. I ain't going home to eat tonight, so I can talk like this. Right? So, but the thing is, the meat, they say that processed meat, and they found it because that's why they stopped serving it in hospitals. About 2 years ago, they stopped serving like cold cuts and processed meat in hospitals because they found that it caused cancer. But those are level 1 carcinogens. Bro, in any hot dog. It don't matter if it's beef, chicken. It don't matter if it's Nathaniel's. Right? It don't matter if it's Nathaniel hot dogs. Oh, they only put certain parts of the animal in Nathaniel. It don't matter. It's the fact that you're combining all these parts and then what you got to use. Oh, American ground beef is banned in other countries. Why? Because they use pink slime in the ground beef. Not just at McDonald's. But, yeah, right? Read? Everybody's upset. Yeah. Have y'all watched the thing, Poison?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Got romaine lettuce and cantaloupe. Yeah. You gotta grow you some of your own cantaloupe, man. That's what everybody's doing. It's so easy. It's so easy to just take a seed, throw it in the ground, and water it. It's not that easy here because it's hot. Ain't nothing growing out here. Ask Corey. Nothing growing, right? It's hot, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it's hot. So a lot of things ain't growing, but you gotta find the things that will grow. What's that?
I would like to. Can I make an announcement?
Okay. Yeah. But wait, let me can I finish with? Yeah. Right. Let's go to lesson 10 real quick. I mean, is it on the class? Or is this okay, yeah, let me finish this real quick. Lesson 10, reflection, application. Go to Jeremiah 29:11. Somebody else get Matthew 7 and 13. Yeah, Jeremiah 29:11. And what do we got to reflect on? Well, reflect on everything we went over in these 2 classes, but reflect on what the Most High wants for you. That's what we should always think about. What does the Most High God want for my life? Does he want me in a life of torment? Does he want me in a life of being damn sick and disabled? Right? Am I useful to him in that state? Right? Even Paul said he had a thorn in his side, but it wasn't to where he couldn't do anything. Most High said, bro, you good. You good. I mean, you got grace. You need that thorn. You need to be buffeted. But not to the point where he was just tied down to where he couldn't move. Right? Where his thorn became an ailment. Right? So we got to consider these things. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11.
Right?
For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord.
Right?
Thoughts of peace.
Go ahead.
And not of evil.
Read.
To give you an expected end.
Yeah, the evil that befalls us, man. You gotta get to reflect and meditate on where's that evil coming from? Right? Where's that evil coming from? Am I, again, self-inflicting evil, right? Is that evil self-inflicted? A lot of it is. The majority of it is self-inflicted. Is it ignorance? Is it me being naive? Is it me being rebellious? Is the Most High treating me like Job? Like, you go through the whole category. What type of man am I? Am I David? Am I Job? Am I Abraham? Faithful, following to the end? Am I Jonah? Got to get my ass whooped every which way before I make a move? Right? Who am I? Biblically. Am I Judas? Am I Jesus? Am I Paul? Am I Peter? Right? All these men had different character about them, and they went through different things in their life. And those things showed you who they were. Am I Job? Right? It's yet to be determined. It's yet to be determined, but it's not yet. Because you can look at your circumstance. You see that? Elijah, you good? Why are you on the floor? Oh, okay. Right? Go to Matthew 7:13.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13.
Right?
Enter ye in at the straight gate.
Right? You went here, so go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Yeah, so to finish up this class, man, the scripture says enter in at the straight gate. Because wide is the way that leads to hell, that leads to destruction, right? So think about it, man, that straight way, that straight gate, it's almost like the straight gate is symbolic for discipline, for being able to stay on top of yourself. And that, because not a lot of people can go through the straight gate. Not a lot of people can have discipline over their spirit, over their minds, over their bodies, you know? So with this health class, it's very important that we do try to enter in at that straight gate. Because think about it, man, the majority of people is not balanced when it comes to eating. The majority of us ain't balanced when it comes to eating. We either eating all the way one way or eating all the way another way. And either way, it ain't helping us. You see what I'm saying? So it says enter in at the straight gate, because broad is the way that leads to destruction, right? Go ahead.
And many there be which go in thereat.
Why? Because the broad gate that leads to destruction, man, that's just, everybody's going to go there because everybody ain't going to be disciplined or even care to be disciplined.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? They just going to keep moving in this certain way. And us knowing the truth, us knowing the Most High's will and what he wants for us, you know, doing everything that we're doing, it's hard enough already. But if your body's against you, that just makes it worse. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way.
See that? Straight and narrow, not many is going to go through. Go ahead.
Which leadeth unto life. And few there be that find it.
See? Few there be that find it, man. So, but we found it. We just got to execute it. We just got to execute it and apply it and execute it. You know?
Any questions on the class?
Question. And when you were doing lesson 6, we was talking about how Moses and Aaron, they were like the ones like eating all crazy and just over indulging and stuff.
Right.
Can we correlate that to 1 Samuel chapter 2? And this is 1 Samuel chapter 2, where it talks about Eli's sons and the misuse of what they were, misuse of the offerings.
Well, when you say correlated, what do you mean? Because them niggas was just straight off. They were basically wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear it. They were the polar opposite of a Moses. Yeah, them guys, if you read that, they was eating the meat raw. Like, it wasn't even about how much, but then they were taking more than they should have too. So they were wrong on every aspect when it came to being content, when it came to being accountable, when it came to a lot of the different things we spoke about. Yeah, I mean, well, I tell you, they was eating the meat before it was done seething. They was taking their cut and another cut. So I would say that, I mean, you could use that as a opposite of how Moses and the righteous men, they're the opposite of the righteous. So yeah. Anything else? The class?
No.
Yeah, it's 9:20. With that, we thank y'all for joining us. We're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.